Welcome back to my review of fine dining and Michelin star restaurants. We are on part 2 of my interesting experience at the Clove Club. Yeah. As I did mention last time, there were some crazy things that happened with the wait staff, starting with the sommelier. So my sister-in-law is somewhat of a wine connoisseur. She knew exactly what she wanted on their super long wine list, had made a selection. Turns out they were out. Okay, no big deal. So then she kind of gives them like a flavor profile that she's looking for, the type of wine she's usually into, and they make a recommendation. Long story short, they ended up recommending like 4 wines to her that she absolutely hated. They were like the complete opposite in the profile that she was looking for. And the thing is, she was like, okay, no big deal. I'll just kind of go without wine tonight. And they just kept bringing them out, kept making suggestions. Homegirl was starting to get a little frustrated. Speaking of wine, they also spilled red wine on my husband's white shorts. Mind you, they were like $10, so he really didn't give a damn. And they did offer to pay for his dry cleaning, but it was just like, damn. And then 30 minutes later, the sister-in-law gets wine spilled on her. The table behind, somebody like knocked over their wine glass, shot over her direction, and she just gets showered with white wine. It was the craziest thing ever. Between that and my husband getting spilled on, that waitress was just like, I'm about to lose this job. We never saw her again. She was gone for the rest of the night. They literally just switched out the waiter and acted like we weren't supposed to realize what had happened. Like, what the fuck is this bossing say? Now, Clove Club, this is where me and you have a problem. This is where we had a problem. And this is how I ended up getting some shit for free. Because this dish was quite literally one of the worst things I've ever eaten. Let's get into it. Now, it's incredibly strange and weird, but for some reason in my adult life, I've developed a mollusk intolerance. So I can't have any mussels, clams, oysters, that kind of thing. So I had to have this dish as a substitution while everyone else got, I think it was like a mussel dish. It was blonde! Where's the sauce? Gordon Ramsay's neck vein would have been pussy popping on a handstand with how loud he would have been yelling at people over this fucking dish. I was flabbergasted. The guests were flabbered. The thing is, I adore bell pepper, but this... Let me begin to break this down because I don't think y'all understand. So that little green thin layer on top is bell pepper. It's just congealed and pressed into a layer. And then underneath, it's just chopped up and sauteed bell pepper. Okay. But here's the thing. Flavor profile, water. Literally, not a molecule, not an atom, not a quark of salt. It was actually bizarre. It was actually bizarre how they managed to ruin the flavor and the texture of bell pepper. And then you're like, oh, well, it's in that nice little like pie tart crust. Flavorless, babe. I'm looking for the flavor. Terrible. It was so terrible. I don't like to speak up if I don't like a dish. I had to tell them to send that back. That was terrible. That was terrible. And they did end up giving us a free dish because of that. That was better. But y'all, bag fumbled. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Such a bipolar experience because this was a great dish. Poached lobster was super buttery, soft, tender, a little bit sweet. And then the lobster hollandaise was fantastic. It was super creamy and it was made with lobster bisque. See, these people have ideas, but then look to the right, to that fucking, what is that? 2 green beans. 2 green beans. Stylistically, I would not have went with that. And you know they were bland. You know they were bland. Now, my family quite liked this dish. This is the one that we got for free after they so royally fucked up that bell pepper tart. That sounds so fucking stupid, a bell pepper tart. It was simple. That's all I can tell you, is that it was simple, but it was delicious at the time. We quite enjoyed it. And then at the top there, we call it eggplant, but they're British, so they have to call it aubergine. The aubergine. Yeah, that was actually pretty good. It was seasoned. I will give it that. Then they had some texture, salty, crispy texture, whatever that is on the side, that little crumble. That was cute. Yeah. Texture. They were executing some things. I've never met a gazpacho that I've liked, and I damn sure have never met a beet that I like. Those are 2 things that I absolutely cannot stand. But this beetroot gazpacho was so good. There were notes of charcoal in it, so it gave it this nice barbecue-y, smoky flavor. And then that little cream on the side, the foam, it was kind of salty, and then like a little bit of richness from the olive oil. Very good. Very good. Baller. Sardine sashimi on top of a potato chip. Don't knock it till you try it. I don't know what the hell they did, but the saltiness of the potato chip and the sardine paired so well together. That little bit of fishiness for that umami bomb. It's simple. But this sardine bone broth was actually so good. So creamy, buttery. One thing they're gonna do is they're gonna make something buttery and creamy. They're gonna give you that. That's what they got for you. And they did that very well. Just a pleasant way to pair it. You just take a bite of the chip, a sip of that broth. It's just a good time. It's good shit. Part 3, not good shit.